Hey guys, just want to show you my newest thing when it comes to rust proofing. In the past I used to buy these they're toilet rings. You put the toilet on, basically when you install a toilet between the floor and the toilet, the porcelain toilet, you buy these wax rings in the hardware store that's basically made out of this sticky gooey wax. You know, you buy the tallest ones to get the maximum amount of wax, and that's what I was using before. It worked great. I mean, I used it on my Buick 3 years ago, and every spot I applied this thing, it never rusted. But I found actually better solution: melting candle wax and then mixing it with the grease. Now I went out and this is an AutoZone grease, which is the you know guys, I don't like AutoZone, but I took the caps off out of all the greases they had in AutoZone, Walmart, Advance Auto, and CarQuest or Napa, or one of them, I can't remember now. And AutoZone grease was actually the stickiest one. If you check this grease, their brand, it's basically you get this sticky stuff. Hopefully you're seeing this. It's very, very sticky. Unlike any other grease, it kind of goes on your fingers, but it's not sticky. So I picked the stickiest grease, and then the way I mix it, I melt the candle. I put the pot on the heat on the stove. I melt the candle, one candle like that. It's about 2.5 inches. If you look at it here, there's your comparison. I'm basically mixing. Ratio is about 2.5 to 1. So I melt one candle in a pot, and then I empty this whole thing in. I basically cut the paper thing in half and scoop everything in there, and I heat the whole thing and mix it together. And basically what you have at the end is exactly like this thing, because I figure they have to be melting just the paraffin wax and mixing it with some kind of grease or something to make these toilet rings. And this is exactly the same thing. And now, not only that, you can control how hard you want this thing to be or how soft you want it to be. Now, to spread this thing on the frame, I'll show you on the truck. I already did the front of the truck. You basically want to keep this warm, so I put a little heating electric heater thing on it to keep it warm. And when it's warm, it's almost like liquid. Very, very easy to spread. You can put it on the brush and brush it on. But then what happens is, as it gets cold, it hardens. And that's the best part about it, you know, because the most protection you want is the during the winter, when you have all the salt and slush and everything else, and the colder it is, the harder this thing gets. And because it hardens, it's pretty much impossible to wash it away, because salt is pretty good at washing away grease alone. I mean, you can use salt water to actually like a degreaser, but once you add wax to it, it changes everything. And it just basically, this thing hardens. You can push on it, but if you scrape it with your nail, this is basically what it is. I can still smash it between my fingers. So that's the consistency I went with. But of course, if you add more wax, it's going to be more hard. My fear was that if I make it too hard, the wax can crack in the wintertime, and then the rust and moisture and water can get in, and salt and everything else, and rust your frame away. So that's why I chose one of these, and then this whole container of this AutoZone high temp. I think this is the standard grade 2 grease. But like I said, this was the stickiest grease I could find. I was opening all the containers, and it seems to be working. It's about the same consistency, maybe a little harder than the wax you buy from the toilet ring wax. This thing is definitely harder, because I can easily push a hole in here, and this one is much harder. So, but of course, like I said, you can add more wax and make it harder. So yeah, basically that's what I'm doing now. It's I'm gonna be covering half a truck with this thing. I bought 4 of these tubes. Well, I already used one of them on the front, so I bought 4 more, and these are just I think IKEA or dollar store candles. They're just a pure wax candle. And I'm gonna probably do 2 candles in 2 of these containers. That's all I can fit in this pot. And then I'm just gonna cover the whole frame and see how it goes over the years as I drive it. See how this thing protects my frame. you know, like I said, I did it on the other vehicles, and 3 years of salt didn't do anything to it. Didn't wash it away, didn't melt it. But what's nice about it, when it gets really hot, like out in the sun, it actually gets soft and kind of runny. And that's what you want, because then if you have any kind of spot that opened up, any little crack or something, or you got new rust pushing it away, as soon as the summer hits, this thing melts and flows right into it. So it's just, it's a perfect solution for rust. You know, I think this is going to work so much better than painting. But then again, I will know after a couple years, you know, a few years of driving. I'll keep you guys updated. But just wanted to show you exactly what I'm doing now. You know, it's just much cheaper. This is I think $2.99 if I'm not mistaken, from AutoZone. And the candles cost nothing. They're just few cents. I think you can buy like 20 of them for $1, $1.50. So they're just nothing. So I think overall this is going to be much cheaper combo than buying these toilet rings and getting wax from that. And like I said, the advantage here is you can mix exactly the mixture you want and hardness you want and control it. So as you can see, I started doing the whole front of the frame and all the cross members, and well, let me try to get the camera in there. All this, and except the bottom I still have to do. Unfortunately, it got cold, and I'm waiting for the nice warm days to do it, because when it's cold and the steel is cold, as soon as you touch it, this thing hardens, and you cannot spread it nicely all the way around. I actually shoved the heater underneath here to heat everything up. The best thing is to do it when it's like 90 degrees outside. So here's the other side. I don't know if you can see it, it's kind of dark in there. But you can tell I smeared this crap all over. But yeah, it's best to do it on a warm day. And just to show you the Buick, as you can see, this is actually exposed metal underneath. And that's all rusty here. And I smeared this thing on it 3 years ago. Been driving it for 3 winters now, and the rust never moved. So this stuff is really, it's better than the paint, because as you can see, these rocker panels, I don't know if I showed it to you or not, all these rocker panels, they were installed in 2012 and painted with you can see underneath they were painted with primer and then rubberized hard coating, the Rhino paint. And it's just all peeling and it's all rust underneath. So sometimes painting stuff, it's actually, you know, I'm gonna have a perfect comparison between the frame here that I painted. I put 3 coats of chassis saver and then the rubberized coating on half the vehicle, and the other half's gonna have the wax and grease combo. And then this way I will see it. I will see which one works better. And I'll just make update videos, you know, over the years, and let you guys know which works better, you know, whether the grease and the wax combo or the actually painting, stripping the frame to bare metal and painting it. So I guess, you know, I'll find out.